Hey, I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 23rd River Falls City Council meeting. First thing we'll do is stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Christy, can I have a roll call, please?
Bierstead.
Here.
Bjork.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
Downing.
Here.
Morset.
Here.
Miller. Odine.
Here.
Okay, next I have approval of the minutes from the April 9th and April 16th meetings.
So moved. Second.
First and second, questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next we have approval of the bills with Mr. Morset.
Mayor and council, I make a motion, we approve the bills in the amount of $1,562,266.07, subject to the comptroller's review.
Second.
First and second, questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we'll go on to public comments. If there's anybody in the audience has anything like to say, now'll be the time. Come on up.
It is 3 minutes, so. Benjamin Fox, 2529 Powell Avenue. As I've been walking around town lately, I'm seeing a lot of these little Nerf bullets running around. And I understand that there was a serious accident, perhaps, with that. And I think it's kind of sad that I'm sitting around picking this up in parking lots, everything else. These little bullets will float, they'll end up in the kidney. So I hope that no one thinks that this is sometimes just a little game. If they're gonna play a game, they should at least pick up after themselves instead of others doing it for them. Secondly, as to Councilman Carroll's comments from last meeting, there's too few people that show up to these public meetings. When I talk about things, they're like, well, it can't be possible. I'm like, no, I was there. I mean, I don't do this for fun all the time. Well, sometimes, but I think it's important to be involved in public things because that way you know in the beginning as opposed to the end. And sit here and pound on the table and whine when this process might have been in for months, years, even for planning. And then third, I see on the consent agenda, you're increasing affordable housing in River Falls through a partnering with a private organization to create more affordable housing. A lot of people come up here and whine about this and say the city is doing nothing. That can't be true if you're also doing things in your consent agenda. So with that, I thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Anybody else have anything?
Mr. Mayor, I have a public comment.
Yep.
I just want to thank everyone who went to EarthFest and everyone who took the time and made it such a successful and wonderful event. And I sure appreciate people stopping by and saying hi to me as with B City representing River Falls there. Thank you so much. Thanks, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, anybody else have anything they want to say? Almost time. Okay, move on to consent agenda. First, we have the acknowledgement of the following minutes. We have the bid board from 2/13, the River Falls Housing Authority from 3/13, the Historic Preservation Commission from 4/10, Utility Advisory Board from 3/18, the West Central Wisconsin Biosolids Facility Commission from 3/21, the Library Board from 3/4. Next one is a resolution designating May 11th, 2024 as World Migratory Bird. Next one is a resolution awarding 2024 directional boring contract to Hodgman Drainage Company for $295,363.13. Next one is a resolution approving the 2024 agricultural lease with Joe O'Malley. And the last one is a resolution to issue a limited term letter of site control to Sinair for city-owned property in the Man Valley Corporate Park. Does anybody want to pull anything?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull number 6.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of consent agenda items 2A through F, 3, 4, and 5.
Second.
first and second, questions or comments on it? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Sean, you pulled number 6.
Resolution to issue a limited term letter of site control to Sinair for city-owned property in the Man Valley Corporate Park. I'm in favor of this project. I'd like our city administrator, if you could explain some of the strategy as far as how it works and the approach to getting subsidies so we can have a wider, I think, broader approach to affordable housing.
Yeah, so the resolution that you're asked to adopt is to issue a limited term letter of site control, and that just means the city is providing some commitment to the developer that if they're successful in obtaining primarily low-income housing tax credit through the state's Housing and Economic Development Authority, that we would work with them on the site. It includes a commitment of essentially providing the property to the developer, a purchase of $1 for 2 acres. This was part of the original RFP and strategy we had for Man Valley Corporate Park. So there's about approximately 10 acres of property that we're working on for housing in the initial stages. As part of that RFP, we asked housing developers to explain how they could incorporate low to moderate income housing as part of their plan. And so we are working with 360 Development Group on that property, and they introduced us to Sinair, who has the expertise in doing the low to moderate. It should be said that the predominance of funds for non-entitlement communities like River Falls, which means we're not entitled to any direct CDBG funding from the federal government or the state, the predominant tool or ability to fund or finance these projects goes to private development firms. There's limited ability or almost no ability for cities to do these directly. And so this letter signals our willingness to work with them in the way we can, which is we can provide letters, we can provide the property, we can provide a letter of support, and we can help the state and federal folks understand that we're committed to this at that property. So you've zoned the property, and we have permissive zoning there for that. So that's another big step in our helping with low to moderate income housing.
Mr. Simpson, if we don't get the subsidies with this project, what should we expect to happen as far as approach goes?
Yeah, it'll be challenging for us to get new construction, low to moderate income housing constructed without the tax credits or other federal investment or state investment. So we have done some limited direct investment through tax incremental financing of some of the projects, but that's usually 1 to 6 units per development. So a percentage of the development gets some effort, and we can continue to do that, but we'd have to look for other strategies if it wasn't successful. This should be a pretty successful, these are all competitive. I should say, they are looking for some competitive grants, but some of this is what's considered non-competitive, meaning if you perform, you get the tax credit. So there's a mix there. It's possible that the non-competitive would be enough to get it done, but I don't think we should expect that. I think the developers kind of need to mix all of these packages together, including, we're providing substantial value with the property to make it work.
I sure appreciate the work put into this by the city staff, and it's good to see this moving forward. Thank you. Mr. Mayor, I move approval for consent agenda number 6.
Second. First and second, any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next move on to Comptroller's report.
The Comptroller's report for March 2024. General fund revenues through the end of March were $3,546,723, or 26% of total budgeted revenues for the year. Revenues in March included $3,191 from court penalties and forfeitures, and $33,543 in building permit fees. Expenditures through the end of March were $2,978,429, or 21.9% of total budgeted expenditures for the year. So as of March 31st, 2024, net revenues over expenditures were $568,294.
Thank you. Okay, next I have a couple announcements. First one is we have a proclamation for Police Appreciation Week I'd like to read. which is May 12th through the 18th. Whereas the police officers of River Falls have worked devotedly and unselfishly on behalf of the people of this community, regardless of peril or hazard to themselves. These officers have safeguarded the lives and property of all in River Falls, and by their service and their dedicated efforts, these men and women have earned the gratitude of the city of River Falls. And whereas in 1962, President John F. Kennedy was authorized by Congress to proclaim May 15th of each year as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, in honor of all peace officers who have been killed or disabled in the line of duty. And whereas the presidential proclamation also designated that each year the calendar week in which May 15th occurs or precedes shall be proclaimed as Police Appreciation Week, in recognition of the service given by the men and women who day and night stand guard in our communities, and proclaim May 15th, 2024 as Peace Officers Memorial Day. Now therefore, I, Dan Toland, Mayor of the City of River Falls, do hereby proclaim the week of May 12th through the 18th, 2024 as Police Appreciation Week in the City of River Falls, and encourage all citizens to observe the week with law enforcement officers, past and present, who, by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities, have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and proclaim May 15th, 2024 as Police Officers Memorial Day, in honors of those in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. Given under my hand and seal of the City of River Falls this 23rd day of April, 2024. And Ms. O'Dean has one for,
Yes, for the Professional Municipal Clerks Week, which is May 5th through 11th. Whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk is the oldest position among public servants, and whereas the office of the Professional Municipal Clerk provides a professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the professional municipal clerk serves as the information center on the functions of local government and community. Whereas professional municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professional municipal clerk through participation in educational programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. Whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk. Now therefore, Dan Toland, Mayor of River Falls, recognizes the week of May 5th through 11th, 2024 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week, and further extends his appreciation to our professional municipal clerk and to all professional municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Given under his hand and seal of the City of River Falls on the 23rd day of April, 2024.
thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.